manducati ex hoc omnes, hoc est enim corpus meum, quod pro vobis tweretur.
Well, essentially in the parish at Turnbull Hall, we tend to have house masses for anyone who moves into the new house. You know, it's kind of traditional anyway that the priest comes and blesses the house. But in a parish like Turnbull, where everyone's quite close, you know, there's a lot of students and things, it's good to bring people into a home and to celebrate Mass on the same table, often where a family or a group of friends will share their meals together. You know, it's very Eucharistic in that sense. You know, to bring the Lord into the home physically is something that is a blessing beyond description.
Because the liturgy is ultimately not human-centered, we can basically splash out on it and really just do absolutely the best that we can, because it's for God's sake. That's why, you know, you look at the Benedictines, you look at the Cistercians, some of the most austere people in the world, they still do the best they can for the liturgy because it's not for them. So ultimately, I just try to make this look like a home chapel, just like a small house chapel, a small oratory, as much as you can. So brasses, altar cards, linens, everything that you can, because it's cheap and it's doable. Good liturgy is not a matter of money. We are both students. I used to be a student, I just graduated. We are both not terribly well off. But at the same time, you can still afford these things very cheaply and provide a liturgy that's respectful and reverent.
It was lovely, actually. This tangible silence, the consecration, where you know, I just felt so happy that we have such a strong community in this parish of people who are devout, who will grow up, who are being formed, who will grow up to be hopefully apostles to Scotland.
It was great. One of the things that you notice is that, you know, outside in the world there was going to, you know, the hustle and bustle of everyday life, you know, people washing dishes, people sort of making their beds, you know, sort of doing stuff across the road. And here you've got the Blessed Sacrament. And this complete stillness of the room, apart from the fact when we were shaking the building by chanting, you know, the Sanctus and the Agnus Dei and everything, which was great. But, you know, honestly, just the centrality of the Eucharist in this flat and how it was all grounded and how we were all focusing our attention and our prayer to this one thing, you know, amidst, you know, the secular world around us. It was great.
It's nice to see a bit of devotion in the house, either if you're just living with fellow students, young professionals, but also in families, more notably perhaps, yeah.
Two things that came to mind as well. One was the catacombs, where our faith originally started, where people would have been sort of crammed into rooms in a similar way, and recusant Catholics in Scotland, and how St. John Ogilvie and all the English martyrs would have said masses very similar to this, in houses, very crowded, and it was a great sort of touching moment that they sacrificed all this for us so that we can go to church publicly now.